Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
It's 8:07. It's O'Connor and Company, and we are flying along into our fourth hour here. Thanks for coming along on the ride with us this 24th day of September, just a week away from the new fiscal year of your federal government. How exciting is that? Coming up in 30 minutes, Luke Rosiak, Daily Wire, will join us. I'm Larry O'Connor with Cassie Smedley. Happy almost end of the fiscal year to you.
I was just about to say, do we get to have like end of fiscal year eve parties, or is that a thing we can make a thing?
Oh, we're having
just a government shutdown.
We party every day around here, but sure, yeah, absolutely, why not? Joining us right now, one of our faves, she's Susan Crabtree, award-winning investigative reporter at RealClearPolitics. And first of all, Susan, good morning.
Good morning, Larry. How are you?
Did you enjoy your governor, Gavin Newsom, last night on Jimmy Kimmel? I know what a big fan you are of his.
I did not stay up late to watch, I have to say.
Yeah, because you had an early morning hit on a dang DC radio station, so I appreciate that. Listen, a couple of things here. First of all, the conviction of Ryan Ruth, the would-be assassin, it seems like the trial was expedited. He was found guilty. He's going away. But was there anything brought out in this trial, anything new, any revelations about this, or will this just sort of disappear now?
Well, I thought it was just very disconcerting that we learned that he had been to golf courses. He's been stalking Trump for months, and he went to golf courses late at night 17 times. So this was hardly the first incident where he was lying there for 9 hours eating Vienna sausages, waiting for Donald Trump to appear on the golf course, where he had this illegal long gun rifle with the number rubbed out of it. And so, this really calls into question in my mind. Again, I'm highly critical of the Secret Service, even though I thought they did a fabulous job at Charlie Kirk's memorial service. But why didn't they find him before this?
Yeah.
And why?
Thank you. I'm listening to you, and I'm thinking, we normies, we laymen, we assume that if you show up like this to one of Trump's events, on a regular basis and behave this way, that you end up being on their radar, that they're tracking you, that they know who you are and that you're there.
Yeah. Yeah. You're living in your car, you're stalking the president. You're going to all of his events, or many of them, for months and months, and the Secret Service doesn't know that you've been lying in wait, eating Vienna sausages, leaving a trail, and they don't sweep the golf courses. That's the biggest thing. And, fast forward to Labor Day weekend, and we had another incident where a guy, thank God it wasn't anybody who meant any harm to Donald Trump, but got a Glock through Secret Service security screening into one of Trump's golf courses, that one in Sterling, Virginia, when Trump was playing golf there. What the heck is going on? Why didn't they have magnetometers at these golf courses where they just keep them on hand and they pull them out when Trump is there? I asked that question to the White House, and they didn't respond directly. I said, do you still have faith in the Secret Service? This is before Charlie Kirk's memorial service. And they said, this is an interesting phrase that I got from Caroline Leavitt. She said, the president has said in the past that he has faith in the Secret Service. So, I think that before the Kirk memorial, there was some big concerns in the White House with what was going on with Sean Curran. He recently had his chief counsel have a road rage incident, his hand-picked chief counsel, and he resigned abruptly after I reported it. And then his chief of staff has an incident at the White House that I haven't reported, which I plan to this week. And there was reaction from the White House, we'll just put it that way, strong reaction from Susie Wiles to some of these hand-picked members of top leadership at the Secret Service that were making serious mistakes. So I do think that they did themselves a really good service. they came up in the people's minds, their reputation after Charlie Kirk's memorial service. But, I'm concerned about how they didn't react yesterday at the UN speech when the escalator stopped. And I'm not the only one. The Secret Service agents, Rich Staropoli, I spoke to him. He had been in charge of security at the UN 5 times during the Bush years and before that. And he said, yes, they should have gotten him off that escalator really quick. That's just a perfect classic setup for some kind of incident, a threat to the president. We we suspect, and Caroline Levitt said this last night on Jesse Waters, that it was planned. That escalator stoppage was planned, but it was meant to be kind of an embarrassment, a joke by UN staffers. That's what they suspect, because the London Times did report that over the weekend, that some people at the UN were planning that. But to me, it was another Secret Service glitch.
Susan, that was my first thought when I saw the video on the escalator. Was even the security guard next to him was kind of just stunned looking at him. There wasn't this moment of everybody move into action. But is it your sense, because I feel like this is sort of the case of amongst other law enforcement agencies that we hear a lot, is that the rank and file are not empowered, or there's too much red tape for them to actually be able to do their jobs or use their instincts or use their trainings, that this is a top issue? Or is it broader than that? Is that painting it with too broad a brush, I guess I should say?
Well, I think after the 2 assassination attempts, there should be, no hesitation, right? So that should have been fixed if that was the case. But from my reporting on the Secret Service since the assassination attempts, it's a lowering of the standards of the Secret Service, a hiring standards, a lack of training. During the last administration, there was all kinds of priorities that were all mixed up, with DEI taking center stage. I'll be reporting on some LGBTQ trips abroad that the Secret Service leadership was taking, and that was following a President Biden's directive. But on DEI, which Trump has since overturned, but that was a big priority mix-up. You had Director Cheadle putting this 30 by 30 pledge as one of her top agenda items for the Secret Service, hiring 30% women by 2030, and then she had gotten to about 24% beforehand. So it wasn't on being the best of the best anymore. It wasn't about the zero-fail mission of the Secret Service. It was something else. It was let's meet all these arbitrary requirements that doesn't really get to the full mission of the Secret Service. It's protecting our continuity of government.
Susan Crabtree, thanks for joining us. She's one of the finest reporters, an award-winning one, the Dow Prize for Investigative Journalism with the Secret Service. Also, by the way, the author of a great book about California politics, along with her co-author, Jed McFadder. It's called Fool's Gold, and it's about who's running that state. And, of course, Gavin Newsom poised to run the country the same way he's run California. Susan, you and I, our hearts ache for the Golden State, and hopefully your book will help expose what's going on there and actually turn that ship of state around. Real fast, does their prop, is it 50? Does it have a chance of passing here, or are the people of California seeing right through this brazen political grab?
I'm deeply concerned about it because it's going to be a low propensity election. It's a special election costing $250 million for the taxpayers of California. And it's concerning because more Democrats will turn out in a special election. But no, I don't think the people support it in California, the majority of the people. There's been polls saying that. But in a low propensity election, then you don't know what's going to happen, and there's a lot of money, as you know, behind it. George Soros just poured in $10 million to the Prop 50 cause. So
we'll have you on again to give us insights on that. But that's the proposition that would allow Gavin Newsom to redraw the maps going against the state constitution of California. We got to leave it there. Thank you, Susan. Always good to talk to you.
Yep. Appreciate all you do. Thanks so much,
8:50. Go back to bed now. Go back to sleep.